Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. So another Thursday live stream looking at IELTS writing task 2 yet again. So if you're new to the channel, basically I'm going to show you a question. You're going to give it a go. We're going to try various aspects of writing a task 2 essay and I'll have feedback for you. Mainly I'll be focusing on your mistakes because that's what you need to know to improve your scores. So I'll point out your mistakes, tell you what you're doing wrong, make sure you understand that so that you know how to improve your score. So that's the whole idea. So in case you don't already know how to write a task 2 essay, I have a couple of lessons that I can share with you here. So let me just paste it into the comments. So call it Complete Task 2 Guide. If you haven't completed that, I would recommend highly that you do that in the near future. It's a total of 3 hours worth of lessons, and it goes over pretty much start to finish what you need to do. Besides that, I'm not going to tell you or show you what to do in the task 2 essay. I'm going to get you to do it for me. Okay, so we have a few people joined us already. Hello to you, sir. Rupinder is back. Hey, Rupinder. Hi, Dad. And Sharon Preet is here. Sharon Preet won the essay competition on Wednesday, and I'll have another one of those. So at the end of that video, I showed you the question for next week, and I'll post that question again on Sunday. So keep an eye out and get involved in next week's Jagraji. Good evening to you. Hi, Ranjana. Hey, Jarline. Good to see you here again. Hi, Mohammadi. Hello to you. Bihan Rodriguez. Good to see you too. It's your first time here, I believe. The name isn't familiar. Apologies if it's not your first time, but I don't recall. Hey, Joel. Not a whole lot. No, IELTS. It's always IELTS. Good to see you here. Hey, Arthur. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I want you to do is to write the paraphrase, stick it into the comments, and I'll have feedback for you based on that. So let me just pull it up here. There, instructions, write the paraphrase. So that's what I want you to do. Paraphrase the question, share it with me in the comments, and I will have feedback for you based on that. I'm going to try and construct an essay as we go along. We won't get to the end of the essay. There are generally too many students to complete a full essay, but you still get a lot of feedback based on your paraphrase, your ideas, and then potentially some development of those ideas. Hi, Rosalind. Welcome to the lesson. As well, if you have any friends or family members or any colleagues at work or anything doing the IELTS test, make sure to share complete test success with them. Get more people involved. Thanks, Joel. Much appreciated. Hi, Dahlia. Good to see you here. Nimot. I'm worried about my writing module. So first, make sure that you complete those lessons I've shared with you. And also get involved in this lesson. So you're going to make mistakes. I mean, everybody that joins these live streams, they make mistakes. I point them out. That helps them improve. That's why we're here. So do get involved. Try your hand at the various tasks, and you'll see what you need to focus on. Hi, Myra. Good to see you here. Jewel, I am from Ireland. From Ireland. It's next to the UK, just on the west side of Europe. Out on its own. Small place. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice. Summers there are nice, for sure. It's a nice place. Nice place to grow up. Nice scenery. Okay, so Ranjana is in here with his paraphrase. So obviously, I'm going to give feedback to Ranjana, but the rest of you continue and share your paraphrase when you're ready. There aren't that many students here today, so we should get a bit further through the essay. So public speaking and presentations, so that should be plural, presentations, are thought to be hard tasks by the majority of people. A hard task. That's not a very natural paraphrase of difficult. I think even just say are thought to be hard. Hard is a bit informal as well. Wouldn't be it is a direct synonym, but it wouldn't be the most appropriate choice for task 2. So I think going with difficult would be better than that. How long have I been teaching English? Since 2008. And teaching IELTS since 2010. So, yeah, pretty much all my life. The majority, all my adult life. Yeah, a long time. Okay, Sharon Preet. The majority of people find it hard to speak in front of the public, but it's not necessarily the public. The public would be... No, because the public would be like the general public, like everybody, the people from a country. Whereas when we talk about talking in public, is like public as the opposite to private, not public as the people who live in a country. So no, it doesn't work like that. Or during the presentation among audience, or no. And if you're talking during a presentation, like that would be more, if you're giving a presentation and me and this other person are talking, that would be us talking during the presentation. But you're talking about giving a presentation would be different. So no, some problems with the vocab, some vocab issues there, Sharon Preet. Shoreline, most people find difficulty. No, most people have difficulties. Have difficulty. No, I'm wrong. Sorry. I just go with this. Most people find public speaking difficult. Most people find public speaking and giving presentations in public difficult. There, that'd be the easiest way to fix that. In front of people would be perfect, Sharon Preet. Yes, definitely. Yeah, in front of people. That's exactly the point. Good. Rupinder, public speaking and giving presentations has to be plural. Because in the question it says give a presentation. So it's talking about one, but you haven't used the article. So giving a presentation or giving presentations is a hard task. That's the same. That's the same thing that Ranjana said. A hard task. It's strange that the two of you would have the same incorrect. Anyway, public speaking or giving presentations is a difficult task for many individuals. That it works like that. It is a difficult task for many individuals. In my opinion, public speaking is essential, and no, so we don't need that yet. Okay. Well, you need that. That isn't an appropriate outline statement. You need main ideas in that. Speaking of which, I guess we can move on to that. So what I want next is your main ideas. So what I'm going to do, actually, let me just take. So if you've shared your paraphrase, I want you to consider what main ideas we can use for this essay. If you haven't shared your paraphrase, please feel free to do that. But I'm going to copy Rupinder's. I'm going to copy Rupinder's paraphrase here and just slot it into the question. Okay, so just give me a moment. I'll just tidy this up. Okay, public speaking or giving presentations is a difficult task for many individuals. Okay, and we'll come back to the outline later. Okay, so that's our paraphrase. That's fine. Do you know what? It says the majority. So for most, we'll use the word that Gerline had. Public speaking or giving presentations is a difficult task for most individuals. Okay, fine. So from there, we're looking for main ideas. Jagraji, nowadays. Okay, so you have punctuation mistakes here, Jagraji. So you need a capital N for nowadays, and after the comma, so you have nowadays, comma, you need a space before a. So nowadays, comma, space. A large proportion of an individual face. So an individual is one person. So a large proportion of individuals face several predicaments. It doesn't say anything about. It's just saying that it's not easy, that it's difficult. But a predicament is like a specific issue. So it doesn't work like that. In public, give a presentation in front of the viewers. So you're really going to have to work on your vocabulary and your grammar at the moment. And I think this is pretty typical. This is pretty typical, right? So you want to do the IELTS test, or you need to do the IELTS test. So you're thinking, I'll study IELTS. I need to do the IELTS test. Of course, I'll study IELTS. But the thing is, like, if you're aiming for like band 7 in writing, you need to have the language ability, and you need to be able to do the IELTS test the way IELTS require you to do it. So you need the language ability and you need the exam skills. Now, mastering the exam skills will be much easier when your English is stronger. So if you start with the exam skills, it's going to be slower to improve your exam skills because your English isn't as strong. And then you're going to have to go back and improve your English anyway. So I would say, honestly, focusing just on English for now would be the fastest path to getting your IELTS scores. Okay. So we're still on what are the main ideas? Ranjana, yep, that works. Can I know how to improve reading? Yeah, I have a reading lesson, Jewel. Let me share it. I'll just give me a moment now. I'll find it and I'll share it with you. Okay. Now, if you look in the comments there, Jewel, just marked it IELTS reading lesson. Here it is. IELTS reading lesson and the link. So it's on Facebook or YouTube. Just have a look in the comments. Itat, my consideration, public speaking is an important skill. My consideration, no. My consideration, no, it doesn't work like that. So just say my opinion. My opinion is that public speaking is an important skill for students. They need the ability to communicate in public about their research, and a full stop at the end. So you're talking about, like, you're saying their research as if I know what research you're talking about, but I don't. So be careful with that. What research are you referring to? That's, the way you've written it, it makes it sound like you think I already know, but I don't know what research you mean. So no, that's unclear. The amount, no. The majority just means most. So most people believe that it is tough to speak in public or exhibition between and it really feels like you are using a thesaurus, Mohammadi. Can you tell me if I'm right, please? It really feels like you're using a thesaurus, like you've taken each word, put it into a thesaurus, found a word that has a similar meaning, and just pasted that back in. I could be wrong, but I really get that feeling because you're using lots of words that have similar meanings to the words in the question, but don't have the same meaning. And when I look at your paraphrase in full, it's very unclear. So I'd just be careful with that. Jewel, I read properly but can't catch them. You're probably reading stuff that's too difficult for you. But you'll see it in that lesson I shared with you as well. The uphill of citizen. Find it changing task to lecture in public or deliver a presentation in front of an audience. I'm not sure where you got this word uphill, but it definitely doesn't mean what you want it to mean. Maybe that's like a direct translation from your own language. Maybe uphill means majority in your language. So if that's the case, you can't directly translate things like that. So you need to learn the phrases in English, not translate minor parts. But in general, based on this, it would seem that you will need to improve your English. So focusing on grammar and vocab for now would definitely be a benefit to you, Nimat. Hashmath. Public speaking or demonstration of presentation is an inconvenient task for most individuals. No. The synonyms you're using don't have the same meaning. Public speaking is okay. Demonstration of presentation, no. Inconvenient task, no. So an inconvenience doesn't mean something's difficult. It's just something that you don't want to do. It's the opposite of convenience. No, so it doesn't have the same meaning. Itat, you are very welcome. Sharon Preet. I think public speaking is an essential skill as it helps to build confidence among people. Excellent. Students ought to be taught public speaking at school level because it helps to promote their career opportunities in the future. Excellent. Perfect. Okay. So what Sharon Preet has done here is given an answer. So the previous responses didn't address the questions properly. But okay, so the question is this: do you think public speaking is an important skill? So of course the answer is yes or no, but IELTS needs more than that from you. So you can't just say yes. You have to say why. So as we see here, Sharon Preet said yes because it builds confidence. Should students be taught public speaking at school? So again, it's got to be a yes or a no. Yes, they should, or no, they shouldn't. And then you have to say why. So again, Sharon Preet said yes, they should because it helps to promote their career opportunities. I would change the word promote to improve, but that's really good. And I'm going to take that, I'm going to actually copy that into our answer on the screen. Just give me a moment here to jump into Facebook. Can't find it. Here we go. I think public speaking is an essential skill as it helps to build confidence among people. No need for that. And then I'll just put in and students ought to be taught public speaking at school. I'm going to remove that, at school, because it helps to improve their career opportunities in the future. Okay, so there we have I'll just make that a little bit smaller. So there we have our introduction, and we have our paraphrase and our outline statement. So that's a complete introduction there. Okay, great. So let's have a look. So that was Sharon Preet. And this man, I'm sorry, I remember you told me your name last week. I genuinely apologies. I do not recall your name right now. Most people lack the ability to speak in public or give a presentation in front of an audience. Good. Public speaking is an essential communication skill, which I consider essential to teach students in school. Okay, so what you've done is you have, okay, so first of all, there's a punctuation mistake. So it needs to be after audience, it's full stop. And then you need to start with a capital P for public speaking. But then again, you have to say the question says, do you think? So you should say, I think. But the other problem then is that you don't have main ideas. So this is what I was saying when we were looking at Sharon Preet's response, is you have to say, do you think public speaking is an important skill? Yes, I think it's an important skill, because so you have to give that reason why you think that, so that you need reasons for each of your answers, not just the actual answer itself. Public speaking is an important something. So you need another word. Is an important skill. To represent knowledge? No. So public speaking wouldn't represent knowledge. It would be maybe to communicate knowledge. To present? No, that doesn't work. And confidence in every aspect of life. This is too vague. No. You need something more specific than that, Rupinder. The most of people find public speaking, yes, and giving in front of an audience difficult. Find public speaking and giving a presentation in front of an audience difficult. What is your nickname? Lar. My full name is Lawrence. But everyone calls me Lar. So I guess that's my nickname. Or it's just a shortened version. It's not a nickname. Hey, Big B. It is believed that most individuals have difficulty in public speaking and presentation directly and giving a presentation directly to an audience. So just some language errors there. Okay, I think speaking in front of public. No, so speaking in front of an audience, speaking to the public. No, so you're mixing up the phrases. It's not an important skill as it is not considered as Back? You see me again? I was just about to close it down. I was writing a message to say that I'm leaving. That never happened before. Can you just give me a quick thumbs up or a little comment to let me know if you can see me again? Please. Okay, I can check online myself. Okay. Yeah, it's working. We're back. Okay. Panic. Panic stations. Screen just went black. Oh, Lord. Okay. So we were looking at Ranjana. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay. I think speaking, is this right? This is where we were. It is. Yeah. I think speaking in front of public, in front of people, is not as an important skill as it is not considered as a qualification. I'd say it's not considered as a requirement is the word you're looking for when it comes to finding a job. So a job or jobs, but not an a with the plural. And I believe schools should focus more on other subjects instead. So again, you're going to have a reason for why you think that it shouldn't be taught in schools. So just saying you don't think they should focus on it in schools isn't enough. So in the way you said that we shouldn't, it's not important because you don't need it for work. So that's your reason. That's why it's not important. But you haven't said why it shouldn't be taught in schools. Okay, Dahlia, a lot of people feel that it is uneasy. No, so to feel uneasy is like to feel uncomfortable, but that's not the same as difficult. So those would be different things. To talk in front of several people, and several people would be a few people, but it's not about how many people. Like, so that could still, what you've said could be talking in front of your friends. So no, that doesn't really count. Or present their opinions or ideas to others. And again, that doesn't really imply a presentation or public speaking. So the way you're describing it, it could potentially be just talking to your family or your friends. So no, that doesn't cover it. It's important to speak in public, in my opinion. So let me just pull up the question here again. So the question is, do you think public speaking is an important skill? It's important to speak in public. No, so it's not that speaking in public is important. It's that the skill is important. So you're talking about the action, not the skill. Because a lot of jobs nowadays require this skill to get work. Okay, yeah, so fine. And even though, like, let's say Dali is saying it's important for work and Ranjan is saying it's not important for work, those are both fine because that's your opinion, So you can both disagree with each other. You can have the exact opposite opinion, and that's still appropriate for the IELTS test. As long as it makes sense, that's all that's important. Hi, Alam. Good to see you here. It is often challenging for most people to give public speeches or presentations. Speaking in public and public speech isn't exactly the same thing, so no. In my opinion, being able to speak in front of an audience is definitely essential nowadays, and it should be included in school syllabi. So what you're missing is the main ideas here, Lam. So you've answered the questions, but you need to say why you think those, what main ideas you're going to use to support those answers. That needs to be in your outline statement. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so this is... In my view, public speaking is an important skill for students to engage in their field, and it is worth their efforts to acquire it as in their field. I'm not sure what that means. What is their field? Public speaking is an important skill for students to engage in their field. And it doesn't just say, do you think, it doesn't say public. So the question says, do you think public speaking is an important skill. So it's not specifically an important skill for students, it's an important skill in general. And then to engage in their field, I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, and it is worth their efforts to acquire it, as it will benefit them to express themselves easily. Now, you weren't asked, was it worth the effort? You were asked, should it be taught in schools or not? So you really haven't addressed that question with this response. Thanks, Itat. Thanks, Dahlia. Thanks, Kent. Good. Okay. So, Hashmath, I believe public speaking is an essential skill which assists to improve better communication. Okay. I think you've been asked, do you think it's an important skill? So you want to give the reason. So don't say which assists, because now you're just, when you use the word which, you're just describing public speaking. You're not specifically saying this is the reason why I think this. So change the word which for because. And build better career development. We only need one idea, so don't include communication and career development, just include one. Schools should take responsibility to teach and improve students to speak in public. So again, that's an answer. You've just said, yes, they should, but you need to say why you think they should as well. So make sure to include the main idea. Okay, so based on whose outline was that? God, I don't recall things. Was it Rupinder's? I don't remember. Okay, so that's our introduction finished. What's on the screen here is the introduction. Okay, so then we're going to move to the first body paragraph, the first main body paragraph. I think public speaking is an essential skill as it helps to build confidence. Okay, so do you think public speaking is an important skill? Okay, so there's a topic sentence. Now what we need is, how are you going to develop this paragraph? Okay. So I think probably easiest if I just make all of this a little bit smaller so we can see it all at the same time. Okay, hopefully we'll have all that on the screen there. Just about. It's tight. Okay, so what I want you to say is, how are we going to develop this main idea? So what can we say about that main idea? We need to explain it or give examples of that. So that's your next task. How can we develop this idea? Oh, so I shouldn't wait until the main paragraphs to present my main ideas, but instead should state them in my thesis statement. Exactly. Yeah, that's it exactly. Helps to tidy the whole thing together, and it makes your, well, first of all, it tells the reader exactly what the essay is about, because that's what the introduction is supposed to do. And it ties the paragraphs together. And it makes your sentences more unique, especially when it comes to something like discuss both views and give your own opinion, because so many candidates will go down the path of saying, and this essay will, delve into the both arguments in detail, and it'll just be like a generic outline that doesn't actually show any understanding of the question. So it's a much stronger introduction to include the main ideas. Hi Sahib, thank you for the compliment. So for this, you need to no, it doesn't work exactly. So what we're saying is it increases. So like, let's say I'm a student, or it doesn't matter, me now. I'm we don't quantify self-confidence, but let's just say, for example, I am currently standing at 20% self-confidence, and then I learn how to I improve my public speaking skills, and then I have 50% self-confidence. I know that's nonsense. There's no such thing as a percentage of self-confidence, but the fact is there's an increase in self-confidence. That's a real thing. So my self-confidence is here. I study public speaking, and now my self-confidence is up here. So why is my self-confidence higher having studied, or like, worked on that skill? And you're not really addressing that here. So you're talking about speaking in public, but stage fear would be a different. That's not about your self-confidence. And it wouldn't just be like public speaking. If it improves your self-confidence, it's not just your self-confidence when you're speaking in public. It's that in general you're more confident as a person. Hello, Facebook user. It seems if you're in the Facebook group, it seems like your name doesn't come up. So if you wanted to pop into the Facebook page, if you care, you'll get it that way. As a result, they may have a sense of achievement. Again, so that doesn't really indicate how they have more self-confidence. So that doesn't work. Hey, Jason. Being able to speak clearly in front of others makes people feel less intimidated under hard circumstances. So again, that's not about self-confidence. So that doesn't work either. Naomi, main idea 1. Yes, it improves communication skills, readiness for future careers. That's 2. That's 2. So you just need one idea to support your answer. So you could say yes because it improves communication skills, or you could say yes because it improves people's readiness for their future careers. One of those, both your ideas are fine, but you only need one. This is due to the fact that if they are good at public speaking, you are likely to influence a lot of people, and people tend to respect you as a result. I like it. Good. This can greatly make you feel confident about yourself. Wow, that's a big turnaround from your first attempt a minute ago to this. That's a big turnaround. That's much, much better. Very good. Well done. In fact, I'm going to jump into YouTube and I'm going to grab that right now. So, it's due to the fact that if you are good at public speaking, you're likely to influence a lot of people, and those people tend to respect you as a result. It can greatly make you feel confident. This makes you feel confident, feel more confident. Good. So what we're missing from this paragraph now is a little example. So a bit of an example would be nice. For example, and then I'll let you do the work, because as I said, this is the feedback live stream. So my feedback is based on your work. We're not here to see me write an essay. Okay, you're happy with your own improvement? You're very welcome. Generally, public speaking is dreaded by many people, so becoming accomplished in that task usually gives people the feeling that they have done something exceptional, which translates into a boost in self-confidence. Yes, also perfect. Good. Okay, so I'm not sure, are other people trying to think of how they will develop this idea? But I would like an example. An example would be nice just to tag onto the end of that paragraph there. No, Lam. No, no problem with the length. No problem with the length. Like a sentence being long isn't a problem. It's that you need a high language ability to stay coherent. So the longer the sentence is, the more difficult it is to stay coherent. So as long as your coherence is intact, then it's completely fine. For example, countless studies have shown that those who are able to speak smoothly in public tend to be more successful in their careers because of their boosted confidence. Yep, that works. I'm not a massive fan of studies, but they're okay. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of using like quoting a study in the example. It's not a bad idea. It's not wrong, but I prefer to kind of make it sound like something based on, countless studies. So countless studies have shown that those who are able to speak smoothly in public, able to speak well in public, and to be more successful in their careers because of their additional confidence. Let's say that. Okay, good. So that's half of an essay written. So what have we got here? 136 words. So that is, yeah, that's looking good. So that'll bring us up to 272, which is pretty much spot on. So we're right on track. So then the next paragraph is going to be this, because it helps. Okay. Students ought to be taught public speaking at school because it helps to improve their career opportunities. Okay. Furthermore, this skill should be taught schools so as to help improve the students' career. What word did we have? Career opportunities. Okay. So then the rest of that paragraph would be like we had here, with an explanation and an example. However, what I would like to see, because we've gone the whole way through a body paragraph, we're basically doing the same thing again here. Explain it, give an example. So what I'd actually like to see is the conclusion. So can you write the conclusion based on the ideas in the introduction on the screen? So I'm going to ask you to write the conclusion. Okay, write the conclusion paragraph. It has been scientifically, no, I think a study is better than that. I'll tell you why I don't like talking about studies is some students go overboard with it. and they'll like quote data that doesn't make sense, or they'll basically just repeat what they've said and say it was in a study. The way you've written it, the way you wrote that was fine, but studies aren't the best approach is all. Naomi, for example, children that did poems, that read poems or read poetry in front of their friends in school, or those that stand in front of the people in church, grow up to be more confident. Yep. Yep. Good. So an example like that is fine. It doesn't have to be, scientifically proven. It can be just your own observation. So it can be based on what you've noticed in your country, with the younger people in your family, with the people that you were in school with, whatever, your own friends, whatever. So yeah, just your own observation is fine for an example. It doesn't always have to be a study or some research that you found. Okay, so while you're all writing the conclusion, let me just share my live feedback lessons and my one-on-one service with you all. So I know a lot of familiar faces here and plenty of people who come to the live feedback lessons already, but just for those of you who are new, I have live feedback lessons 3 times a week for task 1, task 2, and speaking. So those are my group classes on Zoom, and those are for my subscribers. So you need to click on that link, subscribe, and then you'll have access to those extra lessons with me. Tomorrow there's one for IELTS writing task 2. So task 2 again tomorrow. So if you haven't already subscribed, click on that and sign up, and I'll see you in the lesson tomorrow. If you would like a essay correction from me, or you're interested in one-on-one support, you'll also find that with the same link. Okay, Big B. For example, a recent study by ABC University found that students who regularly speak in public increase their confidence rate by 21%. So sorry, now I'm going to have to pick on you a little bit, Big B, but this is a perfect example of why I don't like using studies, because they just become like a tool where you just say whatever you want, and it doesn't really have much backing. It doesn't really sound like it's something you believe. It's just way too convenient. So an example like this, where you're talking from your own observation, sounds like a real thing more than this, which is you've clearly just made up. And it's not just because it's ABC University. It's just too convenient that you would happen to have this 21% figure. And I know not all IELTS examiners are fond of those study research things either, even though they're acceptable. A lot of people don't like them. Dahlia, actors. So you need a capital A for actors, and you need a full stop at the end. Actors used to present themselves on stage, and that made them more confident, even in their own lives, because they usually practice it a lot. But we don't know why it made them more confident. So you can't just say, like, when you're explaining something, you don't just say, the source and the outcome. You have to explain how it got from A to B. So we've already said, like, in our main idea is public speaking skills makes you more self-confident. So now you have to explain how one leads to the other, and you haven't done that. You've just said that it happens. So that's not an explanation, and that doesn't help to improve your task achievement score. I saved your life. Well, I'm good, and you're welcome. I'm not entirely sure what you mean, but it sounds good anyway. In conclusion, okay, so you need a capital I for in. In conclusion, public speaking is an essential skill that students should master. Not enough. You need to tell me. No, actually, that's got nothing to do with what we've said. So nobody said students should master it. So we've said A, it's an important skill because it improves self-confidence. So you need that. And B, students should study it because it helps their careers. So you haven't really said any of the things you needed to say, simply because of the substantial benefits it can bring to them. No, too vague. What benefits? So we said it's the opportunities in their future, the career opportunities. So again, you need to repeat the specific things that we already talked about. So in your conclusion, you need to repeat those specific things. This student, is that, do you know, I don't even know what language that is. I could guess, but the thing is, I'm just as likely to get it wrong as right. So I'm not going to. Okay. Naomi, in conclusion, public speaking or giving presentations is important, but it's an important skill. So you need the word skill in there. Is an important skill and to be included. And it should be included in the children's school curriculum as it helps children to improve their communication skills, build confidence, and offer. No. You have to repeat the ideas that we had and offer a great deal of career opportunities in the future. Yes, so that was the idea. But basically, all we want is this. We want, sorry, let me find this. This is what we want. We want to say that it's an important skill because it builds confidence. And we want to say it should be taught in schools because it helps with career opportunities. So those are the things that we need in the conclusion again. So nothing new, no new ideas, no extra ideas, no suggestions, just the same stuff we've already said in the introduction and that we've talked about in the body paragraphs. Ranjana, in conclusion, public speaking is a necessary skill as it aids to boost self-confidence, and schools should focus on teaching these skills as it helps to land better jobs. Yes, everything there. The word land is too informal, but you've included all the components that we need in our conclusion. In conclusion, so again, you need the capital I. So again, you've made that same mistake. And again, you need the full stop at the end. Okay. In conclusion, public speaking is an essential skill in this day and age. In this day and age. Yeah, that's okay. Simply because it can build up their confidence. No, just it can build their confidence, but who are they? You haven't mentioned anyone yet, so you can't use a pronoun. You can't refer to they until you talk about a group of people. So I don't know who they are. Of course, I know from the context of the question and the rest of the essay, but this is a new paragraph. So when you're starting a new paragraph, it's a clean slate. We're starting we have the context of what we're talking about, but you would still need to say who they are again. And it is beneficial to their career advancement. And remember that first question was about public speaking in general, not in the context of school children. So it was just talking about, the skill, be it for adults, for children, for anyone, just the skill itself. Is the skill important? It doesn't refer to any group of people, but you said there and there 2 times. So it would seem as though you're referring to the same group of people, which isn't the context of the question. Okay, so that, I believe, brings us to the end of the lesson, and we got a good way through the essay. We pretty much finished it. Obviously, we didn't write the explanation or example for the second body paragraph, but we've put together pretty much we've looked at every component of the essay for sure. Okay. So before we finish up, does anyone have any questions? Does anyone want to ask about anything? Does anyone have any concerns or anything before we finish up? I have a few minutes to answer questions if anyone has any. And like I was saying as well, make sure to sign up for the free live feedback lessons and sign up for those one-on-one IELTS support services as well. And do share Complete Test Success with, like I said, your friends, family members, colleagues, anyone doing the IELTS test. Send them my way and I'll have support for them as well. Okay, so it seems like nobody else has any questions, so let's leave it for there. Let's leave it there. So what's coming up? Task 2 live feedback lesson tomorrow. So like I was saying, you need to sign up for that. Then next week, I'll be back with Task 1 live stream on Monday, speaking live stream on Tuesday, the essay correction competition on Wednesday, and back with this Task 2 live stream again on Thursday. Yeah, so that's it. Nobody has any questions. We'll leave it there. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. And see you again soon. Bye-bye.